Moon Mondays. Do you feel like the world is wobbling under your feet right now? Like reality itself is shifting and you can't quite trust what's real anymore? If you're feeling destabilized right now, there's a reason. We are in a collective initiation. Neptune is stationing direct this week, and this is the perfect backdrop to get into what's happening in the world around us at large. One of Neptune's gifts is clarity, revealing illusions and what we're trying not to see. So today we're exploring why everything feels like it's on the line and how your inner personal work is actually shaping the world to come. Recently, I had the privilege of interviewing one of my longtime astrology heroes, Richard Tarnas, the astrologer, philosopher, and Jungian psychologist, whose book Cosmos and Psyche deeply validated my sense of astrology. Modern astrology has always felt too small to me, constantly predicting outcomes, labeling planets as like good or bad, right? With Jupiter and Venus being the glittering positives and Saturn and Mars the feared negatives, right? None of this matched what I lived or saw in my clients. So when I found Tarnis's work, it was like my soul exhaled. The cosmos wasn't dictating events, it was mirroring us, right? As above, so below, as the saying goes. During our conversation, Tarnis described this moment in history as a collective initiation, right? The initiation phase of what Joseph Campbell called the hero's journey, that destabilizing, disorienting moment when you're stripped of everything familiar, when you're unsure what's real, when you wonder if you're going crazy or the world is. Right? Nearly everyone I talk to, clients, friends, family, is feeling these exact feelings, wondering what in the world is happening right now. Tarnas said, and I quote, there's a great sense of potential danger, a feeling of tremendous uncertainty about the future, a sense of doubting what's real, being destabilized as to what we know, and even a sense that we might be going insane or that the world's going insane, a confrontation with death, with mortality, with our finitude. We are living in the very center of this mythic pattern that humanity has always recognized: the descent into the underworld, the dark night of the soul, the death before rebirth, the crisis that incites transformation. He said, this moment isn't meant to be comfortable. It's meant to wake us up, to get us so intense that we must transform or perish. So here's what Neptune Direct means in human language, right? Neptune dissolves illusion. When it stations direct, it pauses like a tide pulling back, and whatever's been hiding beneath the surface rises up where you can see it. And because Neptune is connected to intuition, spirituality, and dreaming, we can use this moment to go deeper into our personal healing work. So, back to Neptune's gift of clarity, which often arrives in uncomfortable ways. Tarnas emphasized, and again I quote, you have to have uncertainty if there's going to be a moral transformation. If you don't think everything's at stake, you're not going to change. You can't have a pretend near-death experience at a weekend seminar and have that have the impact that you'd have if you really encountered your potential dying, where you come back from that with a whole different sense of, oh, I see. It might be a little more important for me to be loving in my relationships than to increase my quarterly profit. In other words, if everything feels like it's on the line right now to you, that's because it is. This moment is the descent before the revelation. Tarnis reminded me fear is not the problem. It's a requirement for real moral transformation. If nothing feels at stake, if we don't have any skin in the game, then nothing changes. I had the pleasure of meeting Tarnas at a symposium he spoke at here in Aspen this fall, along with cosmologist Brian Swim, who shared his knowledge that science now understands the center of the universe is not a single point somewhere out there, right? It is everywhere all at once. Creation itself is unfolding through each of us, meaning the change we want in the world cannot be outsourced. We must become it, which means your inner work, our inner work, is not just self help anymore. It's not just a luxury, right? The inner work we avoid is the very transformation the world needs right now. This is why we must do our shadow work. If the center of the universe exists within each of us, then the transformation of the whole depends upon the metamorphosis of the individual. Without it, the rebirth, the change, the transformation remains impossible. So, as Neptune stations direct this week, use its clarity not to escape the darkness, but to see into it. Notice what illusions you cling to, what truths you refuse to face. The center of the universe, creation itself, is inside you. We cannot ignore this descent, this initiation. We're meant to participate in it fully, consciously, courageously. And that work begins within each of us. All right, that's a lot for this week. But next week, I'll be sharing about the Sagittarius new moon coming in with the solstice, the true new year. And I'm hosting a free online solstice workshop. I'm Sheridan Semple, astrology life coach and Moon Sister Circle guide. And if you want support navigating this turning point with intention, join me for my free solstice workshop. It's called Solstice Reset. Break the patterns running your life and build a 6 month vision that sticks. My live solstice workshop is happening on December 21st. The solstice is the true energetic new year, the moment the light returns. Before resolutions, before pressure, before hustle, this is your reset point. And this live session will uncover what's been running you beneath the surface and create a 6 month vision aligned with who you're becoming, not who you've been repeating. I'd love to have you there. The link is below. And until next time, honor the descent. It's the doorway to the revelation and our collective transformation.